We have some news right now, and if the last week felt strange to you, you're not imagining. Because the more you look around, the more it feels like things we assume are strong are actually held together with tape. This past week exposed cracks in the system that run our lives, from hospitals to food to hotels to cyber defense, and even down to machines we allow in our skies. The scary part? None of these stories stand alone. If you zoom out, you realize they're all pointing to the same thing: a world losing control of itself. So tonight, I'm breaking down 5 major events, each one big enough on its own, but together they paint a picture most people don't want to see. Let's start with the war you'll never see coming until the screen goes black. This week, US cybersecurity officials confirmed something alarming. Over 800 ransomware operations are actively targeting American infrastructure right now. Not small-time criminals, not teenagers with laptops. These are government-backed teams: Russia, Iran, China, North Korea, quietly probing our system every day, looking for a single weak point. Hospitals, water plants, airports, 911 dispatch servers. Everything a city needs to stay alive is being tested for cracks. And here's where it gets even darker. Britain uncovered Iran's linked hacker group using fake activist profiles to steal voter data from tens of thousands of people. They weren't trying to steal money, they were trying to influence minds. Meanwhile, in Eastern Europe, Russia inserted malicious code into satellites, code designed to shut down GPS across entire regions with a single command: no bombs, no explosions, just silence in systems that fail one by one. If you think you're safe because you aren't a target, remember, your phone, camera, doorbell, Wi-Fi, and your apps, they are all entry points. Cyber war isn't coming, it's already happening in the background of your life every single day. While the digital world cracks, the physical world, the world that feeds us, is breaking too. This week, the UN dropped a report that nobody wants to talk about. Global food prices have risen for 5 straight months. Wheat output from Ukraine is down another 40%, and Ukraine normally feeds half of North America. Extreme heat wiping out major crop zones in Africa and South America. And in the US, 3 of the 4 biggest meat suppliers reported operational delays, which is corporate language for "we can't move the food the way we used to." Here's where it hits home. Supermarkets have quietly begun limiting bulk orders in several regions. Food banks are turning people away because they're running out, and SNAP benefits, their only lifeline for millions of people, are being cut while prices rise. This is how unrest starts. Not with riots, not with politics, with empty refrigerators. Because when a family can't feed their children, everything else becomes noise. And just when you think it can't get any worse, another system this week, one that millions of people rely on to exist when they travel. This one happened fast. Sonder, a billion-dollar hotel short-stay company, collapsed this week. Not a slow process, not a slow collapse, not a bankruptcy filing that drags on for months. I'm talking about people being kicked out mid-stay with less than 24-hour notice. New York, Montreal, Amsterdam, guests waking up to emails from the company saying your stay has been terminated. You must vacate.
They're saying basically that we need to move everything out with less than 24-hour notice and scramble to find another hotel.
No refunds, no relocation help, families on vacation left on the sidewalk with their suitcases because a corporation ran out of money overnight. This is the danger when essential systems, housing, travel, food safety, stop being public goods and start being controlled by fragile companies, balancing everything on depth and vibes. When they fall apart, regular people absorb the shock. But the craziest part, that wasn't even the most surprising transportation story this week, because while the hotel industry collapsed, something brand new took off. Literally, a new aircraft just hit the market. And the wildest part, you don't need a pilot license to fly it. It looks like a giant drone with a seat inside, electric, autonomous. The company claims you can fly it after a 30-minute briefing.
Pivotals.
It self-levels, it auto-lands, predicts obstacles, and calculates the wind changes. Here's the tension part. The same features that make it safe also make it dangerous. A vehicle that can fly itself isn't just transportation. In the wrong hands, it's a weapon, smuggling tool, a surveillance craft, a way to bypass airports and fly into restricted airspace without anyone noticing. And the governments are predicting this won't be abused. While the machines get smarter and easier to operate, humans behind the systems we trust are getting careless. And this last story is not a glitch, it's not a collapse, it's neglect turning deadly. This week, a medical professional, someone whose entire job is to save lives, was arrested after admitting something sickening. He let a patient die because he was too lazy to do the procedure that would have saved them. This wasn't burnout, this wasn't stress, it wasn't handling 20 patients at once. He simply did not feel like doing the work. He falsified charts, ignored alarms, and told nurses he'd get it later, knowing the patient didn't have later. By the time anyone realized, it was way too late. And it forces a question nobody wants to ask. If the system meant to protect us, the hospital, the emergency room, the professionals, are breaking from the inside, what else is slipping? If collapse can happen because someone is lazy, how stable is anything really? Cyber war, food shortages, housing collapse, pilotless aircrafts, negligence in medicine, 5 stories, 5 cracks, and 1 truth. The world isn't falling apart randomly, it's falling apart all together. And most people won't even see it until it lands in their lap. I'm Frankie Bryant, and these are the stories that actually matter.